Morning.
Good morning.
Rev Voice Agent. It's time to get to work. We've still got people that don't know they can keep their phone number and save money. They're being held hostage by notoriously high costs. Your assignment is to locate them and make sure they know how easy it is to switch, keep their number, and start saving with Rev Voice.
I got this. That was a close call. And don't forget, you can keep your number.
Hi.
Hi.
Get Rev Voice for your home now for just $9.99 a month for 1 year. Save over $240 and keep your number.
Coming up tonight in news, a 4-year-old who shot himself through Balls Alley dies in hospital. Another church burglarized in southwest New Providence. A former PLP MP says all parties in the Baha Mar debacle need to take their egos out of the situation. Plus, we count down the top clips in news this week. I'm Paige McCartney. We've got those stories and more straight ahead on MB12 Weekend. Welcome once again to MB12. The close-knit Balls Alley community still in shock today after a 4-year-old shot himself and later died in hospital. Police say at around 3 p.m. yesterday, the child and another kid were playing with an illegal firearm when the weapon went off. MB12 went to Balls Alley today where residents said they're still trying to process what happened. One resident who didn't want to appear on camera said he was doing mechanical work on a vehicle just across the street from the green and white apartment complex where the incident occurred. He said he heard the gunshot and then seconds later saw the child's mother run outside, cradling her son as they were both covered in blood.
I just hear the pop and I see her come running over him. Carry him to the doctor, to the hospital. Somebody put him in the car and carry him to the hospital. That's a tragic accident, man. You know what I mean?
It's a close-knit community, correct? So you get...
It's a small corner, this is a dead end. Everybody you know one another. You know what I mean? Really, it's a sad thing, though.
You knew the little boy? You ever saw him around here playing?
I know when he born, man. Him and all my children play together. You know what I mean? Him and the neighbors live down there. He got some little cousin live right down the road though. It's just sad, man, I swear. It's so sad, you know what I mean? Ain't nothing you could do. Ain't nothing you could say.
2 other young residents spoke with MB12, affectionately referring to the child as Joshy. They said he was a typical 4-year-old who loved to play and had just shared a meal with them minutes before the shooting took place.
I ain't gonna lie, right? We did like great Joshy, right? School little boy.
He was fun. He was a nice little boy around here.
Yeah, nice little boy. I'm telling you, never used to give no problems. He always used to be out here every day, running up and down in the road. Every morning. That's how we out here now. You used to be out here. I tell you, boy. I just got out there later today.
Yeah.
So you just give him some Chinese.
Oh, so you ate Chinese together yesterday?
So they let him go on home and share it up with his sister.
Police have taken the child's father and mother into custody for questioning in relation to the matter. On Wednesday, a 4-year-old girl was shot to the back of the head during a shooting on Key West Street. Her 7-year-old brother was also injured in that incident. Both children survived that incident. Well, days after one Carmichael Road church was burglarized, thieves targeted another nearby. Pastor of Universal Church of God, Reverend Vincent Smith, said the church had just purchased $40,000 worth of audio equipment for the recently dedicated facility. He said a groundsman made the discovery early this morning.
Someone that lives on the ground called me about 7 a.m. And when I came, I observed that the door was off the hinge and partly broken and rests on the side of the other door that was still intact. And I didn't immediately come inside. They called the police, and waited for the police to come. They came, took a statement.
Smith said he's certain someone in the close-knit community knows who may have been behind the heist. The burglary didn't stop the church service this morning, though. Smith said criminals will not prevent him from preaching the gospel.
I speak to the criminals who did this. You know, God love you, but he hate your nasty, dirty, thieving attitude. And I've been here for 40-something years. And I just want to let you know that everybody that bothered with me and my property, either they're in prison or they are under the ground. So you could choose which destination you want. It should be a safe place where people come in to worship and to serve God. And when the church is not safe, then may God help us in our homes. You know, that's just the way I think about it. I think it's very bad for an individual or individuals to break into the house of God and steal all of the necessary equipment and apparatus that we need for services and to carry it.
And police on Andros are reporting a deadly traffic accident early this morning. Reports are that just after 2 a.m., two vehicles collided on Queens Highway in San Andros. One of the men died on scene. And on Exuma, Drug Enforcement Unit officers are reporting a significant drug bust. Reports are that around 7:30 last night, DEU officers and the Marine Support Unit were on patrol in waters off Black Point when they noticed a suspicious Boston whaler with 5 men on board. Police say when the men noticed them, they threw 2 bales of marijuana overboard and attempted to speed off. The officers intercepted the boat and took 5 Exuma residents into custody. And police also this afternoon reported a major drug bust in North Andros just this morning. Well, outspoken member of Parliament and former member of the PLP, Greg Ma, says the back and forth between the Christie administration, Baha Mar developer Sarkis Merlian, and the Chinese has done nothing but hinder the entire process. Moss insists, based on the Prime Minister's most recent comments, it's clear that he's taken sides on the matter. Jasmine Brown has more.
Speaking candidly, Moss said from all indications it appears that Christie has sided with the Chinese, a move he says will no doubt have a negative impact.
When it got to the point where the Prime Minister was questioning the sanity of the investor, and the investor was questioning the integrity and bona fides of the Prime Minister, we clearly had started to go down a wrong path.
Moss says if the government truly wants to mediate the process, it should do everything it can to stay neutral.
For the Bahamas to say that it is interested in being a mediator while at the same time weighing in, obviously, in the direction of the Chinese was, I think, disingenuous.
Baha Mar filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in the United States on June 29th. Supreme Court Justice Ian Winder rejected Baha Mar's application seeking recognition of Chapter 11 bankruptcy in the Bahamas. Since then, there have been numerous statements released by all parties involved, including a national address by Prime Minister Christie earlier this month. Ma says at this point, egos need to be pushed aside for the sake of saving the multi-billion-dollar development.
The personalities now need to get out of the way. And for that to happen involves persons ignoring their own kind of natural instinct or political instinct to be putting their side of the story and their spin on the story out into the public domain. But that's what leadership demands. And so I think that the personalities need to be brought out of the equation. This is not about personalities. This is about governing a country. And this is about sending a strong message on how we respond as a country in moments of crisis. And that response cannot be emotional.
The government of the Bahamas has also filed a petition for the winding up of Baha Mar on the grounds that it is owed more than $58 million by the developer. The government hopes to appoint a provisional liquidator to help get the issues ironed out and the project completed and opened. In court yesterday, the matter was adjourned at the government's request. Meantime, Moss says the Baha Mar debacle will no doubt cast a negative light on the Bahamas internationally.
We need to take a pause, take a long pause, breathe in deeply, and go back to the fundamental question of whether we want to be seen as a jurisdiction that participates in foreign investors being deprived of their property, whether through our executive comments or through the use of our, and when I say use, the involvement of our judiciary. As legitimate as that process is, it nonetheless casts a chilling effect on future foreign investment in this country.
Reporting for NB12, I'm Jasmine Brown.
And before we end news tonight, we'd like to say a farewell to NB12 technical producer George Robinson, who is ending his journey with NB12 to start a new journey of his own. Congratulations, George, on all the new developments in your life, and be sure to check in with us. And that's the way it is tonight. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Paige McCartney. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good night.